wiggle his finger like a banana and that work.
So Kellie's setting up to go live on her channel too. If you guys are not subscribed to Kellie's channel, I'll make sure that it's in the description of this video so you guys can go and subscribe to Kellie's channel. And then you'll be able to follow the piglets.
Chris Holman.
Hey, Chris.
We have Kansas with us.
It's a rarity.
It's a rarity.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So, Steven, do you want to give our viewers a little bit of a backstory about what you do? And we were just talking about firefighting.
Yeah, I'm a volunteer firefighter for Chapmanville Volunteer Fire Department.
That's
It's in northwestern Pennsylvania, Titusville. It's like, what, 30 minutes away from Erie or something?
That's about 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Roughly.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've been doing it for, I'm thinking probably about 5, 8 years now, somewhere between there. I'm not quite sure. I've lost track.
Well,
So-
you've also went a lot with your dad
Yeah.
and I when we were doing it. Because we'd done it since,
Put the younglings up. Let's go.
since
Go fight
83.
some fires.
Yep, literally.
Volunteer firefighters. That's
Family, whole family.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
I've been doing it. Well, I got into it is because of family, and you know, it's always what I've always wanted to do, and I want to do something to help with our community, our country. You know, I'm a patriotic person. I love America. You
As
know.
it should be.
Yes, as it should be.
The Kellie B fam is they're avid Second Amendment proponents.
Hoorah! Yes. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
We were just talking about during our we showed that again today where the Muslim dude was knifing up some guy's car in the UK. And what did you say?
I said if somebody came after me and my family with a knife while I'm in the vehicle, the person would have been shot.
They would have been shot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we do here in America. You don't come after somebody
With a knife.
with a knife. We have a right in this country to defend ourselves.
Exactly.
So-
And every right that would be justifiably right.
Exactly.
Right there. So
That poor guy just had to get off and run. And
honest-
that guy wasn't even
Yeah.
to chase him down.
but all honesty, as me being a gun supporter and you know a big Second Amendment, you know, person who will fight tooth and nail to keep that. Okay, I do never ever want to take a human's life unless I have to take and protect myself, my family, or others that I don't know.
Right.
That may
will
be
do it.
harmed.
Right.
Just
Absolutely.
to see somebody go home and see their family.
Yeah.
Well said.
No NRA member has ever been a mass shooter, by the way.
Exactly. Or the Gun Owners of America.
Yes.
Yeah, there's another one.
Yes.
Really good one.
They are really good too. They are really, those guys, I honestly highly recommend you to go to those guys and sign up because they'll cover you guys. They'll be 100% behind you.
They don't have they're not holding back on anything.
And
You know, where the NRA does have a few restrictions on a few things. With a few things, but with the Gun Owners of America, they don't.
But
Hi, bee lady. We made it.
Somebody said that there was a woman attacked by some Syrian in America today. I don't know.
Ooh.
oh wow.
I haven't looked that one up.
We'll have to look into that.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. Well, I wouldn't be surprised because of, you know, how things are going and
Very
big
political
movements.
young man right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's a good thing.
Don't get
You know.
so much.
As long as you're on the right side of politics and you're not like Antifa.
Ugh.
Well, I'm not. I don't really consider myself as a politician or anything, but I can tell you this:
You're passionate about.
I'm passionate about America. I love America. My family fought for all of our rights and freedom and liberty, and you know, everybody's been granted a God-given right.
Yeah.
And that God-given right is your First, Second, Third, Fourth, and Fifth Amendment.
Are you close to Pittsfield, PA?
Yes. It's about, what, 50 minutes? No.
You know Pittsfield.
Oh, no, it's only about 25 minutes away.
Maybe
So
15.
I'm
Maybe
gonna guess we
15.
have somebody that lives out that way.
Or knows that area real well.
Yeah.
That would be Jim Worley.
You have neighbors.
Oh boy.
Yeah. It's a small world.
It is a small world. So I have a question. How did you guys get started into the homesteading kind of
Yeah,
ideal?
because you're pioneers. You were one of the first families homeschooling too.
Yes.
So
I mean,
that
what made it? Was it just
without
kind of
the
God
internet?
spoke to you, or you wanted to prep? You felt something was coming down the line.
God, necessity, and
A child that had a disability that at the
that's
time
what
did
kicked
not.
us off was the homeschooling.
Well, we were raised, the two of us were raised our whole lives
On farms.
on farms.
Really?
I mean, I was 4 years old and helping the vet and my father, who could not help get a calf's head
Right.
and leg moved, and they're picking me up and I'm having to do
your
it.
arm.
Yeah, my arm to do it. So, on a first time heifer.
I mean, that's no fun trying to get a calf
And it
back
isn't.
inside when the mama's trying to push it out.
Right.
Yeah, so we've been raised all of our lives that way. And we've
Homesteaders is here.
all of our lives that way. And then we wanted to raise our family that way.
Sure.
And it came to the point that my mother had said, because they wanted to put my oldest boy, they said, you need to institutionalize him because he was dyslexic.
Wow.
And in turn, they didn't want to do anything with him. They said, keep him out of school, don't bring him back.
Wow.
And my mom said, you wanted to be a teacher anyway.
Aww.
And she said, homeschool him. So I homeschooled all three of my children all the way through school.
Well done.
And
It says homeschooling before homeschooling was cool.
yeah, exactly, because my oldest is going to be 30 years old and he is going to be 25.
Wow.
And he's the middle one, and then my daughter's going to be 23. So
I highly recommend if anybody has kids, okay, and if your kids get older and they time to go to school, okay, don't roll them in school because I don't like the system that they have set up.
And it is a system.
It is.
It is.
It is a
It is.
Run
system.
them through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
But
we were
the
talking.
way today's age of parents, okay, is where the father and the mother both have to work these days because
Yeah,
of the
that's true.
economy.
Yeah.
That's true.
But not only that, the lack of discipline what parents have.
And
okay,
we were just
with their
talking
kids.
about the paddle
Yes.
that used to be in school. You got in trouble, you got a paddle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
a lot of
Sit in the
people.
corner.
Yep,
It does that.
exactly. There was an actual chair and they did have that back in the day, or you had to stand in the corner.
But now they get their safe spaces and their crayons and their.
Yeah,
Yes.
Or
Britt Boston would
And
like
their
to know what you
cuddly
guys think of
poodles.
what's happening to Tommy in the UK.
Totally wrong.
Yeah,
totally wrong. I mean,
in our, if
I
that was
actu-
going on in this country, he would still be a free man.
Yes.
yes. And I seen the live stream when I actually seen the live stream before they had taken it down when they dropped it. I was watching him live stream when they were arresting him.
wow. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
So it was crazy.
I heard something about that the courts ordered him not to talk about anything or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, the courts had ordered him not to call anybody while they're in the middle of a trial a
Yeah.
Muslim rapist until they had been convicted of being a Muslim rapist. But he wasn't doing that. He was just reading the news from a newspaper.
Right.
I mean, you saw
Right.
it live.
Exactly.
Ah.
And when they did that, I was flabbergasted. And I said, if that was America, that would not have happened.
Right. Yet.
Exactly.
Britt Boston said he was watching it live too.
I have
Yeah.
a little thing I want to speak out to the people out there on. I know some people aren't for guns. That's fine. I'm not going to push my
Beliefs.
Agenda.
beliefs and agenda on someone else who don't want it. But I want the people to stop and think. Why did our forefathers put the Second Amendment, not the First Amendment? Why is it the Second Amendment? Our First Amendment is the freedom of speech,
Right.
freedom of religion,
And freedom of press.
and freedom of press.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I hope the people can stop and think about that for a second. Why the Second Amendment is the gun rights. For every man, woman, or American citizen in the United States to possess a firearm for protection of foreign, domestic,
Or tyrannous
Or-
government.
tyranny government.
Right.
Why was that second? It's propping up the other ones.
Right.
And
it's holding them up.
and it's
that
holding our
those can
First
stay
Amendment.
there.
Yeah,
Right.
our First
Right.
Amendment right,
Right now,
especially.
the Democrats want to take that away. And as soon as that one goes away, I know everybody says, oh, you're a Second Amendment fan addict. They won't take this. It's like, well, if they take it away, the rest of our freedoms will go next.
Absolutely. No.
Yep.
We'll lose everything then.
I
Exactly.
mean, it's what's up. We have a check and balance system in our government for our forefathers, and that was their check and balances to keep everything else in
Right.
check and balance.
Right.
Yeah, and look,
I mean-
just look at that knife
And
attack.
then they
you know,
need to go back
in
and look
London.
at history too of all the other tyranny and
Yeah.
fascist
Real
countries.
history. Go to the
Real
old
history.
history books. Don't look at anything
Yeah,
modern.
not to what they say happened. It's like no, because
We like to go to wall builders.
yeah,
Yes.
I mean, when Hitler come to power and the Nazi Party took over, they came in and took all the weapons away from the German citizens.
Right.
That's what they do. And so then they can now censor you because you don't have
Yeah,
any
and
way
then
to
they
Exactly.
took
fight
it-
back.
Then after that, then they took over the press.
Yep.
Right.
And as soon as they took over the press and they fed the people what they wanted to feed,
Right.
they believed them. They were the great almighty country.
Right.
And they marched over everybody else. And I mean, look at history. And the same way with communism.
It's a cycle.
And then everybody
that they've
thinks
written.
communism's so
This
great.
is how we
but
do it.
They
And
need
they're
to
trying
go
to do it
back in the
now
history
again.
of the
Yes.
revolution of the communist power, of how many people were actually killed in it.
Right.
We actually did an episode on that a little while ago after we had watched, what was that, the name of that movie, that documentary that somebody had sent us. And you can look at all of the communistic kind of regimes
Yeah. it's
Throughout
really
history and
powerful.
all the other countries.
And
Ivan sent that to us.
yeah.
I really should. Everyone should see that one. Yeah.
And you just see how many lives have been lost throughout history and the steps that they take in order to take those lives start with restricting speech and then taking the guns and then they control the press and then they kill everyone left. I mean, it's essentially that's the formula, that's the recipe, and it works. It bakes the same cake every single time.
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's the reason why everybody says, well, how come our government is still going the way it is? And that's because we have our check and balances. Everything has a way of checking and balancing it out. I mean, that's the reason why we have the thing with the Justice Lady with the balancing scale and the blindfolds.
Yeah.
That's one of the things. We have our own
Yeah.
justice system. And
Right.
right now, it's leaning
It's
a little-
unbalanced, yeah,
It's
because we got all the
unbalanced.
judges making laws in this country. That's
Yeah.
not supposed to be that way.
No.
For
No.
those of you overseas and don't know this, our judges are not supposed to make law.
Well,
No.
Red Plaza says they actually have they have a Second Amendment under a 1689 law. They just took it away.
See, and we have to make sure that ours does not get taken away.
That's right.
Were
And-
you talking about Britain again?
Yeah.
Yes.
They had it. What he's saying is they had the equivalent of a Second Amendment,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it got taken away, just like they're trying to do with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're talking about, I guess, wanting to get rid of certain knives or make them so they're not so legendly.
Yeah. they're-
Yeah, you know, the butter knife.
Yeah.
Who invented the butter knife? Wasn't it King? It was one of the kings.
One of those
Louis.
kings.
King Louis.
King Louis. An English,
I believe it was.
Okay, because back in the day, they didn't have utensils. All the lords came to supper with the king. They
Because-
brought their daggers to use to eat
Yes.
or cut their meat. They would get in heated arguments.
Ah.
Okay.
After
Really?
drinking, because they drank
They
their
drank
wine,
the
because
wine
the
and ale.
water was not
And
pure.
then that ended up
In a
with
fight.
a fight and somebody getting cut, stabbed, or killed. So the king says, okay, you guys leave your knives there at the door. We will have the cutting utensils for you. And this is where the butter knife comes from. It's dull, and I mean, it takes a lot of force. I mean, you can actually hurt someone with one of these if you tried.
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah, eventually, but
And it can be sharpened.
Yeah, it can be
they
sharpened,
can,
but-
even if they did make it a blunt thing, they could sharpen
and now
it.
they're going to take this stuff away too from the English.
Greetings from Poland.
It doesn't
Hey,
seem like
there we
that.
are.
Hey.
There.
Somebody's calling Britain Alcatraz on steroids, an island prison.
Install them because we light, right? The plan is to do a deck, hopefully, Lord willing, this year, and we would bring you guys along for that. But
The
nobody's
doors
going
to
to fall out,
nowhere.
and we don't drink anyway. So we're fine.
Yeah.
And I believe Wendy said that her son is in the Big Island. Please pray for him.
Ooh,
He's
all those
already
volcanoes.
lost his car and his mailbox from the lava.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my.
That's not something that we've talked about very much, but it is horrific what is happening with that volcano will not stop erupting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty crazy.
I mean, they're evacuating people right and left.
But I mean, you look at what's in the Bible and everything that's going on. I mean,
It
there are
definitely
things,
could be.
There are definitely.
Eric, the bee lady wants you to explain what happened to your finger again.
Maybe you could tell them in detail, like you did us, how this happened.
I could take it off and show you in details. I was in the process of putting the insulators up around the pig pen for the electric wire to keep the pigs so they wouldn't root up the fence. And I ran out of the wood, the ones that I pound in with the nails. And I had some other ones that were clipped on to go around T-posts. Well, it was getting late. We wanted to get on the road to come and get the pigs. And I got a brainstorm. It's like, oh, I'll just take my utility knife, cut the end of the clip off, and I got screws, drill, and I'll just screw them in the wooden post.
I think it's a great idea, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. It worked great.
Definitely did.
I forgot to think about, setting the insulator on the solid piece of wood, then cutting them. I was
Yeah.
holding it in my hand and started cutting it, and I apparently lost my grip of the insulator or something. The next thing I know, the insulator went flying, and the knife found the finger.
Oh my gosh.
And there was blood all over the
Oh,
ground
come
and
on,
on my porch.
And unfortunately, when I cut it, it was with a
Commercial utility knife.
commercial grade contractor, construction guy utility blade knife. It was one of the big ones.
No.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the truck.
No thanks.
It's still got some of his stuff on her too.
Oh my gosh.
Pieces of his fingers
Oh
still
my
in that
gosh.
thing.
Yes.
Michelle, are you ever interested in
Hunting.
Yeah, hunting. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, did I not be correcting you? That was me making sure I heard what you said.
Okay, yeah. Hunting. Okay. But anyways,
No, I can go with you. We're going hunting all day long.
would you?
Yeah, I'm interested in hunting. Yes.
Would you ever, get your own deer out?
Absolutely. Yeah, I would not have a problem.
Yeah, you see that tree?
Okay.
That's our pig
We
hanging
hang
tree.
up the pigs.
There
here.
you
We've
go.
done 5.
Done 5.
We've done 5. I figure a pig's not too much different than
You
a
just
deer.
kind of
Mhm.
scoop it out.
I hear you can't
Yep.
cut through the bone though.
With
Uh,
a whitetail?
Yeah, you can.
You can?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I was in labor with him. He told me not to go into labor
Oh,
for the
Lord.
first day of hunting season.
Really?
And,
It's a guy's hunting thing, okay? Come on.
and I did. I went into labor.
You can hunt every year.
Well, he got a buck,
Good job.
and he'd never done a buck. I have. So I had to show him how to do the buck.
Now so with us, the pigs need to be castrated or you get boar taint. Is this an issue? Is this what we're referring to here? Is there like a buck taint? That can be an issue?
I know a lot about deer.
Yeah.
Well, whitetail because I hunt. That's all I hunt. Okay. I love.
Matter of fact, that's what's on his shirt. Is a
But
deer.
anyways,
You hunt turkey, too.
I very rarely.
Not
but,
much anymore.
I'm more of a whitetail hunter. I love whitetail hunting. It's just a thrill. It's
Okay,
just
go into the
so forth.
the
But anyways,
gutting.
I can literally go into a big story. But anyways, what I'm gonna say is that with a buck and a doe, okay, there's musk glands on a buck and a doe. A
Okay.
doe, they'll have her musk glands down below on her hind legs in
Right.
between.
Okay.
All right, a buck also has the same. Okay, but a buck actually throws more of a rotten smell, like
A pheromone.
a pheromone.
Right.
Okay, they really stink when they're in the rut. They really do.
Our
Yeah.
boar do too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm familiar with that.
But not only that, also deer also have an orbital gland in their eye. Okay, though too. Now you've heard of bucks actually walking up to trees, and they'll actually rake their antlers around,
Right.
and they'll scratch. Well, when they're raking their antlers around, there's those orbital glands in their eyes. Okay. Well, what that is doing is that is actually setting off a pheromone in that area to let other bucks know that there's a buck in that area doing all that activity.
That's interesting.
And also the does.
And also the does, yes.
But
so
not-
bucks are taken and they're marking their territory, just like
So-
a dog would.
So when we go to gut them, and what we're talking about, when I had to show him how to do it,
You have to cut those musk glands off.
that and when you have to split the pelvis down in there, and you have to cut certain things off, and you have to be really careful.
Yeah.
And of course, he collects the urine bag.
Oh.
To save for hunting?
Yes.
I even do it with the does too.
So yeah, he'll do that, and in turn, he didn't know how to go about doing that. So like I said, I was in labor, and I had to show him, and I had to hatch it because that was the only thing I had at the moment. And I took the hatchet and split it down there, and said, "Honey, go grab a lawn chair." And I'm holding a leg with a blue tarp down, and he's gutting it. And I'm sitting there saying, "Hurry up, we need to get to the hospital."
Oh my God.
I know you haven't got out of there.
And believe me, when I had him, now you heard the story of his
That's why
hunting.
he loves hunting. 'cause
Exactly.
You were born into it, literally.
Yeah.
Oh
He
my
was out,
gosh.
he was out. Come on, let me out. I
If-
want to.
He wanted to help.
If my favorite time of the year is archery season. I love bow season. Just get out there with a bow, just sit up in a tree stand, or just go out and stalk deers when it's like a rainy day and all that.
And the bear come up and
And-
talk to you and see
Oh
you.
my word, I've seen bears during archery
We hunt
season.
bear.
I'm not doing the bear thing.
It's a thrill and it's a challenging when you have any white-tailed deer in front of you, either if it's a doe or it's a buck. The thrill of just seeing an animal in front of you and actually trying to get that shot off, that is just an experience that no other person can ever experience unless you guys do it yourself.
I was the one that got him into archery too.
Yeah, it's
I got
great
him
thing.
into turkey hunting and of course archery, and he's a
See, I
diehard
like the idea
archery.
of turkey hunting because then you don't have to raise your own turkeys. We have a friend of ours that raises turkeys.
Mhm.
I like the idea of just hunting the turkey. Then you don't have to put in the effort. Let nature feed itself.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, we've had turkeys that look like wild turkeys, their genetics, and they were 6.5, 7 months old, and we had the electric company come and look at them, and because they seen them and they were so big, and they just free ranged out around our place, and they were so big that they thought that they were 3 or 4 year olds, and they already had beards and they had talons, literally that long on
Oh
them.
my gosh.
They grew so fast and so strong.
Did you eat them?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's all we do. I mean, I make soaps and I make body scrubs and whiteners, skin whiteners to help, especially when you get grimy hands and stuff and you can't get the stuff out of there. Whitens your hands
Not
up.
only that, the greatest thing that we like to also do too is that whenever we do kill a deer and we actually skin a deer, okay, is actually tanning deer hides.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
See, Kansas wants to do that.
We've got deer hides, matter of fact, right now that are salted in our yard, covered up right now.
What do you mean
From
in
the
your
spring.
yard?
They're laying right down in the yard,
On a
Drying?
piece, they're drying.
They're dry.
They're cured.
Yeah, you just gotta take
With
them
all
to
the salt
Just
we salted them and laid them there.
But they don't get brittle?
Mm-mm.
No, because all you have to do is you can rehydrate them,
Yeah.
Okay.
and then you fletch them.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's gonna.
So
Dehydrate, you got it.
Dehydrate. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Salt dehydrates them. That's what cures.
To
Yeah, cure it.
take and do that is
But
either
you
just
gotta-
get water and charcoal and stuff. And
Well,
put
if you
it
want to
in
do
a-
it the old-fashioned way, we just went and got salt
That
and
takes the hair off.
yeah, it takes.
Yeah, that's right. That takes the hair off.
There's a special way of taking the hair off.
What about fleshing them though? Like getting the flesh off?
You
Yeah,
and
scrape,
Scrape and
Scrape.
scrape. You stretch them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
then there's
If you do that, you just get a log like this round here, and then you kind of
Lay it over
lay it over, and you push yourself against it, and get a
I've
little scraping.
seen people doing this.
Yep.
And
This is impressive. So Kansas,
Yeah, it's impressive.
we were with our Amish friends and they butchered a cow and he asked for the hide and we brought it home And he was out here with the grinder on a table, like fleshing it a little bit
fleshed
to
the
get
whole
a lot of the
thing.
chunks
He
off.
salted it, but unfortunately it died.
Yeah, knife works a lot better, I got a feeling.
If you happen to have a pressure washer,
That works faster.
is
faster
the
and
best
easier.
fletching tool
Then
made.
what do you do after you've got it? I mean, how long do you salt it, and then what do you do?
You can salt it for years.
Yeah,
You can
so-
preserve it for years
How
in
much
salt.
salt? Because we salted ours and then died.
It-
and looked
You
putrid.
have to
Just
have.
stay on like that thick. I
Yeah,
mean, it's to where
yeah.
you can't really see anything but nothing. but
It'll
salt.
soak it all up.
It will soak, and then you gotta
Add more to it.
you check it at first for a week. You put
I don't
salt on
think
for
we
a
did
week. Flip it over. You know, you cover it up. Take your covering off. Put more salt on. You'll see the spots where it'll really
You'll still be
And then-
moist.
What kind of salt?
regular.
You can get it like at Tractor
Tractor
Supply. It's just
Mineral
a
salt.
mineral salt.
Plain white mineral salt, not trace mineral, just the regular mineral salt. Plain white.
It's in a bag. You
It's
get it in a
50-pound
bag.
It's like, I paid like
$6-7
$6,
for it.
$7 for it.
That's super cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah.
So you say you have it laying in your yard, just like out.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
have plastic
I got
down,
plastic down on it. I got the hide
flipped
fur
over,
down,
fur down.
Or down.
flesh up.
Put the
And
salt.
then I got put the salt on it, and then we got some more hides.
So we
I
put
folded
a
them,
whole
and then I put the two
face to
hides
face.
to face, and then covered them up, put another hide on it, and then I put a big towel over it.
We just
covered
flip
it
the
up.
hair to hair, and the inside fletch, the
So
inside of
what's
the
the
skin.
minimum time on the curing?
Yeah, it can
I
be
don't-
just
I
a few
normally get
weeks.
after them. For some reason, I have not got to them for this year. I don't know. I think-
Well, one, you amputated part of your finger in March,
The other finger, another finger.
and then
Well,
it cut, so
and then we got busy with some other things going on, and
yeah, so there was a lot of things.
unfortunately, life comes and you have big plans and you want to get some stuff done, and
That's the reason why it can sit for so long, for years, and
That's
you can
awesome.
actually wrap it up, put it in the freezer, put it in a bag, put it in the freezer, and it stays there,
Yep.
and it stays good,
yeah, 'cause
and
you
you
can
can-
actually walk right by and you wouldn't think it doesn't stink.
and it
Yeah,
doesn't stink.
it
No,
does
we
not.
have an actual pallet on top of it with a piece of tin on top of it, so that
So
it
what
with
will
plastic.
you do with the hides when you're done?
Well, you can.
Make gloves. We
Yep.
can do
Gloves.
vests. We can make
Mucklucks.
moccasins, or
See, this is real deal, folks.
yeah, or you can make a gun scabbard out of one, or
You can
Have
make a.
teeth.
You can make a.
or you can
Your black
A
powder.
quiver. You can
black
make a
powder.
quiver. A quiver out of it for
You can make a
a
tablecloth out of
longbow.
What
Oh.
do you sew them with?
We actually we don't use the inwards or anything like that, but you can.
but the sinews
Sinews,
is a lot of work.
yes.
Oh, I can
Very
imagine.
lot.
It is
So
work.
we just
I
get
think
a
that's more
good
work than tanning
waxed,
the hides.
heavy duty leather type of thread and needle and that, or a nice leather sewing machine.
TT, or you can do the punch hole thing.
Right, right,
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Do you have a leather sewing machine?
No.
Yes, we do.
No.
Yes, we do. The one that we had, yeah, the old one that I have.
This is why Leah
behind
and I are like a married couple. We disagree all the time.
behind the one side of the front of the
I
house.
keep forgetting about everything.
I have 7
Some
sewing
days I
machines.
say I have a memory like an elephant, and there's other days my memory left.
I think it's understandable. Well, I am so proud of you guys and everything that you are doing. And I'm super excited about your new enterprise with pigs.
Yes,
And we'll be able to follow that on your channel.
yes,
So
definitely.
we'll keep you guys posted.
Right
as
now
far as
we've
what they're
got
doing.
grass that's almost as tall as me, so they're going to have
We're
a lot
talking
of.
about some places in the other pasture where we moved the horses as taller than the horses.
Yes, he said he wished that the hay fields were like that. He had 30 acres of it.
Like that.
But
The
yeah,
pigs will help you with this.
this is going to be awesome for them, and trying to find them at times is going to be really fun.
You know what? All you have to do is shake the feed bucket, and we've taught them to come to a whistle.
That's cool.
So,
See,
helpful.
that's like the horses at my house. You either holler for their names or whistle for them, and they'll come
Or
running
just go
right
grab
to
the
you.
feed bucket
And
give
shake
a
it.
little,
Yeah.
Just make a little noise with the plastic bucket, and they go.
It's that simple. Pigs are easily motivated by food.
Oh yeah.
And so are
Mom
horses.
wants us to walk up and show the piglets real quick.
Okay. I think that's a good idea.
Have fun.
Let's go.
Oh, come on. I'm still in the food coma thing.
Okay. I gotta get my leg up too.
I can't eat.
Your babies. Oh my goodness. Look at their babies.
We have 2 hogs up
Our
there.
babies are bigger than yours.
Oh, really?
We just got ours out in our chicken tractor.
And they like to feed their babies. So they will come and get whatever they can.
But we will move this chicken tractor every day, just over, and then I don't know.
When they're
in
big
a couple
enough-
of weeks, they'll be on the back fence line like
And
they
they
did
just
last
run the
year.
back. Yeah, they run the back fence.
All right, let's do chicken tractor. I hope you guys are having as beautiful weather as we are here.
Oh, this is the first day.
We hit rain one area coming through, not through Columbus.
I do over here.
There's the babies. Hey there.
Hi, mommy.
What'd you get in, Steven?
Huh?
What'd you crawl in? Steve?
They're fine. I'm not gonna get in.
Why not?
Why not?
Oh, you'll be fine.
Oh, they ran away.
Here, guys.
Here they come. Come on. They're literally fine. in the mud. They are rolling in the mud.
You don't got yeast in that?
Oh, it's fermenting.
Yes.
It's been fermenting
Natural.
for a few days. Hey, Lacey, say hi.
Hey there, honey. How you doing? How you doing?
Here we go. Now the gang's all here. We're stuck.
Ah.
Oh my gosh.
They're stuck. That is so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like playing now
So
over
one
there.
of these 2 little dudes is going with them, and a cat,
2 of them,
a little fat
2.
little dude right there,
I think.
Yeah,
fat little guy. Yeah.
little fat guy over there.
So they're fun.
And hopefully our moms will start gaining some weight.
That's totally normal too, for that to happen.
Hey, Mom.
Oh,
They're
look at
having a
them.
good day. It's a really nice day out for them.
It's beautiful.
What are you doing? All right. Well, we should sign off here so we can get these guys.
Yes.
Hang on, we got cake to eat first.
We have cake to eat first.
Oh boy.
Oh my.
We have cake to eat first, guys. So thanks for joining us on our live feed with our little piggies and Kellie B fam. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And to Kelly's family channel
And Kellie
that we
B
will
fam.
leave in the description.
Thank
The
you.
mothers get upset when you take the babies away.
Some do, those can eat.
Yeah, well, he's not wrong.
Some
Literally.
do, some don't. So, you know, the ones that aren't okay with it.
They're so adorable.
Because we have to get into the pens and clean out.
The moms usually do pretty
About the
good.
food, put in fresh eggs.
If we put out some feed like this, they're usually so distracted. And we try really hard to make our piglets friendly so they don't make a whole lot of noise when we pull them, which helps.